This is a podcast about both having autism and living with someone who has autism. My mom is Sonya, and I'm Josh, and this is Josh Has Autism.
Hey everybody, welcome to Josh Has Autism.
Hello.
It is, a lot of stuff is going on in our country. I don't know if you're aware of this, but it's a big deal. No matter what side you're on, it's a big deal. So today is Thursday, and the former President of the United States is going to court and being indicted for, essentially, so you know, it's like to overthrow the government. It's to not allow the smooth transition to transfer. Regardless of what side somebody's on, and I'm not making a political statement here, I'm just saying that it's a
big issue.
Big deal for our country.
Yeah.
And so I think your dad has been watching TV today, which is unusual, you know, that he's watching this, you know, the news channels all day long. And of course, you and I both agree that too much news, no matter what kind of news, is not good. I say it's not good for the soul.
No.
So, but anyway, were you aware of that?
Yes.
That was happening?
Yes.
Okay.
It's kind of hard not to with it being on the TV.
Yeah, I figured. But, yeah. So.
I'm sorry, hold on.
What are you doing? Oh. Let me have it. Our puppy Lucy is in the room with us, and she's okay if she has something to play with, but she's finding all kinds of stuff she shouldn't play with.
Yeah, it was just chewing on something. Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you need for us to let her out, or I mean, she's laying down now? Yeah. We can move her if she does it again.
Okay, cool.
All right. So, I was okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm good.
Go on out, Luce.
All right.
I know she is 4 months old now.
Really?
She's 23 and a half pounds, and
I've heard you say in multiple days in a row, you've grown today.
Oh my gosh! So yesterday, the day before yesterday, she fit in her harness. And I kept on making it bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Mm-hmm. But the day before she fit in her harness, and yesterday she couldn't. So she's growing so much.
Yeah.
So much. I mean, she's just enormous.
Yeah.
I guess for people that have dogs this size and are accustomed to it, they're used to it.
Yeah.
But she is, at this point, the biggest dog I've ever had.
Yeah.
She's just, you know, we're used to these little fluffy bichons, and here she comes, this beast. So, but, and also, so when we got her, Dad said, she's going to sleep in the crate.
No.
And so I was working really hard at doing that, and then she would get me up in the middle of the night and want to come in the bed. But then Dad was a little mush pot, you know, and he let her up on the bed, so now she wants to go on the bed. Well, now neither one of us are sleeping because he said last night she was kicking him in the face all night. And it's really hard sleeping with her, so.
Well, you couldn't sleep with her not in there either because she would wake you up as soon.
Well, if we put her in the crate has it's a really, really large crate, and it has all these cushions and blankets and everything else in there to be very comfy. So in order for me to get some sleep, either Lucy needs to sleep in the crate or your dad needs to. So I can sleep.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or he might say I need to sleep in there. Yeah, because both of us are really tired.
He wouldn't.
No.
Tell you that, I mean.
I know. He wouldn't. I would. So I get crabby when I don't sleep.
Yeah.
I need
I've noticed.
What? I know. I do need enough sleep. But anyway, you wanted to talk about something on this podcast that I don't even know what it is. So just
if I could get any words out. So going to what you had literally just said, about being off or whatever whenever you don't sleep. Whenever I have an off day, everybody knows it, and me especially. But I mean, it seems like everybody else can see that or whatever. But whenever you have an off day, I do sometimes notice it. Not always, but it's on those days especially that I realize just how much you really do, especially behind the quote unquote behind the scenes, where you're always doing something that will make things easier or will benefit me or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And because I rely on you for a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever you do have an off day, it really puts it into focus just how much you do. And even then, I still don't know all the stuff you do.
Right. So, if meaning off, I think that you're meaning. So I don't have any off days, like an off, like closed for business. I don't have any of those days.
You can't afford them.
There's too many people needing too many things. So, so I don't have like that off,
right.
not doing stuff today. I have to schedule those, and I usually am out of town doing stand-up when those happen.
Right.
Which is not, I enjoy doing that, but it's not super relaxing as it would be if we were just going off, someplace. Like, for example, working the cruise ships.
Yeah.
Right? It's different than if I was just a guest on a cruise ship.
Right.
I was working on the cruise ships, so, it was very different, not as relaxing.
Right.
Because you always have to be a certain way. You
professional
have to be
while out of your room or whatever.
Absolutely, yeah. And because I was an employee, I put that in quotes, but technically, yes.
Yeah.
I had the quarters that were below deck.
Yeah.
And a room that very, very small. I mean, big enough.
Yeah.
Right, big enough. But
cruise quarters.
Yeah. So it's they had a TV. Which by the way, the last time that I did a cruise ship, there was this show on TV called Under the Tuscan Sun. It's a really good movie. It's a fun, movie. I really enjoyed it. But on that whole cruise, I watched it from the end to the beginning. But what would happen is the first time I saw it, I saw a little portion of it that was towards the end of the movie. And then, like, I don't remember the order of things, but I had to go do a sound check.
Yeah.
And then I came back, and then a portion before that was on, and then so it was a longer period of time. This wasn't like I just stepped out and then came right back.
Right.
But that happened I thought, this is so weird. Like, the whole time I would have to go do something, including going to do the show, and then coming back, and then the beginning of the movie. It's starting over. Because it was in a loop.
Yeah.
But,
There's actually a movie, I don't remember what it was called, but it actually did that naturally. Where it had the opening scene and then the closing scene, and then each time they'd get closer and closer to...
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
So the middle of the movie was the end of it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And so it was really disjointed, and then by the time it ended, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
So it was just really cool.
Well, so yeah, that's one of the things that happened to me there, but what I'm saying is that even when I go off and I'm going to do stand-up somewhere, I'm not completely relaxed. Right. Because the shows matter to me. Right. And I want to make sure that the audience has a good time, and, that everything is organized, and that I'm on time. So even if I have a chance to, if I'm working someplace and I have a chance to go off and do something very fun, I'm always cognizant of, am I sure I'm going to get back in time?
Right.
You know, and it's ridiculous because I'm not, my time frame is not even an actually what it would need. But let's say if I took
precautions,
maybe I needed an hour, I would make sure I had 3.
Yeah.
You know, so it was really over the top. So, yeah, and so you're talking about a day where, what does an off day for me look to you?
Where unexpected situation pops up or changes things that weren't wanted or whatever. Mm-hmm. I mean, where things, not necessarily where you get sick or whatever, mm-hmm. but where you can get news that just changes all plans.
Yeah, that does happen sometimes.
Yeah.
That does happen. Yeah, I understand that does happen, and usually when that's the case, it really kind of needs my attention.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing what I planned to do, but then this other thing needed my attention. The other thing is that when I'm working on, the difficult thing for me is to allot time for myself every day. Because there's so much that, well, there's so many people in the family, and I'm kind of helping everybody.
Yeah.
And it, it takes up a lot of time. And so what I've started to do is to make sure that I have my own time, that I do my own thing. You might be talking about me being very stressed because when I need my own time, so if I need to write, I need to do the business side of stand-up comedy.
Right.
It doesn't just happen. I have to talk to booking agencies and management and, and write and get it all taken care of. When I don't have that, I start getting very, very frustrated.
Yeah.
And very...
irritable.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause an off day...
Where you don't have patience for things. Where...
when usually I would just say, okay, let's get this done. Or I would just get this done.
Or you have time to explain things or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessarily an off day. It's
an overwhelmed day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So what's really cool with the stand-up is that I talk more and more about autism and about you, and
yeah, because use me as your comedy.
And what's really cool that's happening is that the opposite. I was kind of nervous, a while back when I started doing this. I was kind of nervous that because if anybody said anything about you, so it's very, very clear you are never the butt of a joke,
right?
Ever,
right? And
so if somebody else were to take it that direction, I don't know how ladylike I would be. So, but anyway, what's happening is just the opposite. It's very, very cool.
Yeah?
Because I bring it up and I joke about it. But I don't, I'm not joking about you.
Right.
It's me.
Or the situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's happening is I see people nodding and like, oh, they like, and I know that they know this.
Yeah.
And, then the last couple shows I've done, people come up afterwards that are, one last night at the show I did, there was 40 people on the spectrum that he took to something.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I was
that like herding cats?
I was like, I didn't ask him. No, I didn't ask him. But he's like, loves it.
Yeah?
Yeah. He just loves it. And, but he said, have you ever been in an environment where there's 40 people on the spectrum? And I said, no. The closest I came was a long, long time ago when you got the diagnosis, and they said, oh, it'd be good for you to be in, around other people that have this. It was Autistic Society of America. There was this get-together. We went, and I was just like, oh, I did not want to be there.
Mm.
It was because it was like, oh, this, you're not. I was thinking, I was making jokes the whole time with your dad, like not because of the people, but what I said was that, do we look this tired? As the other parents, and I'm like, you know what? I'm pretty sure we do. So it was, but that was I was in a large group of people, and it was, and then of course down in Florida when you were in the peer groups and the helping out, and I just think it's awesome. I've never been in the numbers that 40.
Yeah.
I think that would be awesome, but down in Florida was that was the last experience that happened, so
right.
I think it'd be pretty cool. Anyway, it's resonating with people. The things I'm talking about are resonating with people, and the people that don't know about autism are laughing. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. Now, I said that to say this, that I'm really trying to do my own thing and let go of being the
apprehensive worrywart.
No, the person that is relied on so much that I can't do for me because I'm so busy doing for other people.
Yeah.
So if you've noticed that, there's a lot of times lately that I've been telling you, well, if that's what you want, what do you need to make it happen?
Yeah.
Or can you take care of that?
Is that what you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I don't want to do it anymore.
You'll help me, yeah.
Yeah. I don't...
But you're trying to get me to not just learn how to do stuff, but give me the experiences to know what to do.
Right.
But I know that I don't like talking about it, but if you're not here anymore.
Yeah, right. Right. So you have somebody that comes twice a week now and is helping you through things, and we are doing all kinds of things just to prepare for that.
Yeah.
To have everything written down so you have all the information that we're making sure that you're going to be okay when that does happen.
Yeah.
But also, it's just about, so let's just jump way before that happens. Like, right now, what I'm saying to you is that you really need to know how to do things. So let's push and see what you can do.
Yeah.
And if you can't do it, then that's okay.
Yeah.
But we just need to know where that
line
lies.
Yeah.
Right. And the other part of that is that things are going so well for me with the stand-up that I really need to pay that attention that it deserves.
Yeah.
And that's for me. And so the less that so I'm just not saying to everybody, forget it, you're on your own. But what I am saying is, can you do that instead of me do that?
Right.
And if you can do that, that's great. And for you in particular, that's what I've been doing, is that, can you do this? Because if you can't, how do we help you get to a point that you can?
Right.
And I'll give an example right now that has come up. So, that your ABA person is helping you with. About to, anyway. And that is that, so everybody knows that Pappy has lives in that, you'd call it an apartment, mother-in-law suite, whatever it was, but it was, built for Nana and Pappy.
Mm-hmm.
So Pappy lives there, and he has a very hard time. He's diabetes really bad, and I guess that's how you would say it, diabetes really bad.
He's diabetic.
He's diabetic, thank you. What I meant to say is that his feet hurt him really bad because he's a diabetic. That didn't even come out right. So, because his feet hurt him so bad, it makes it difficult for him to do certain things.
Right.
Now, at the same time, you're needing to step up what you do and begin to get a routine of changing sheets, of vacuuming, and dusting and
all that stuff,
doing things like that. So the plan is to get you over there into Pappy's place for you to figure out a day that's going to happen, and then you show up when you're going to do that. It helps him out, and it helps you to really get into a routine of something like that is different than just here in the house.
Right.
You know, because I can ask you to help me with something. I can ask you to dust, and you'll dust. You know, I can ask you to sweep, and you'll sweep. But this is different.
Right.
This is not for me. Which is somehow very different than me asking you to do something. That sounded kind of bad. That's not how I meant it. It's just that you doing something outside of something that I'm asking you to do is helpful for you because you can begin to think of it differently.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. And so there's that's in the works, and just the things that I'm just asking you, hey, you need medication? Okay, I'm going to let you take the lead on this. You make a phone call.
Right.
If it doesn't work, let me know.
Right.
But you make the phone call.
Right.
And so those are a lot of those things have changed. So here's my question. When you say about me having an off day, are you talking about me having a crabby day where I'm short fused? Or do you think it's me kind of backing off some lately? It could be both.
More, it's not really the backing off thing.
Okay.
It's where
sometimes I'll help you out by saying this. There are some times when the kids need something, your dad needs something, and Pappy needs something, and I need to go to. I have appointments, and then you need something, and I just don't have enough time in the day to do all the things that everybody is relying on me to do.
Right.
So it feels very frustrating when all things don't get done.
Right.
Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know.
Okay, so let's switch this. Instead of trying to guess what's going on with me, what are you experiencing? So you say when I'm having an off day. So there's something that you're seeing or feeling or experiencing that I'm doing that's different than what you're accustomed to.
Right. Sometimes it's crap.
It's okay. It's okay. Just get your thoughts together, because seriously, just the fact that you're recognizing that there's a difference, you really give yourself credit for that, because, once upon a time, you were oblivious to all things right in front of you, right?
Yeah.
And now there's this obscure difference, and you're going, hey, something's different. And when I'm asking you to put it into words, you're like, but that's okay, because at least you're recognizing that there's something different.
Yeah.
It's okay that you don't have the words ready, to explain what that is exactly.
Yeah, thanks. I noticed that usually there's some kind of situation going on where you have to focus on that stuff and are not able to work with me to help me with what I might need.
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that. And it's not using the term off
Mm-hmm.
is not correct.
Okay.
I said it once.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it's not right.
All right. What's more accurate?
I don't know.
Okay. I know that you love words. I know that you love reading them, and when you read them, it just takes you on a journey, and you love that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can have an experience, and you don't know what words to attach to it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I'll make a point here, is that sometimes the words that we use themselves don't even match somebody else's experience. So, like, I can say to you, I love you. And
I could say, I know.
And what that means, hopefully, to you, is that you feel loved, cared for, that you're wanted here, that you're part of things, and they welcome you in, and and I want good things for you, and positive things. Now that's from me to you, right?
Right.
But there's somebody out there, I don't remember who did it, but they wrote a song called "Love Stinks."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So not all things mean the same to all people because of experience.
Right.
Right? And so, you can have a feeling, you can have a sense of something. I just described, somebody asked me about the place where I did a show last night. And one of the things that I said was that it's one of those warm and inviting spaces.
Yeah.
And, they know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it's, then we talked about the oddities of the particular setup and what have you.
Yeah.
But, so that is really, set the tone for that atmosphere.
Yeah.
So that when they go there, if they're booked on that show, they're going to know, oh yeah, this is a cool place to go.
Yeah.
But people are full of nuances, like all day.
Yeah.
And those nuances for you have been things that are difficult, because for you, it's sometimes it's a not even face value. It's a word value.
Yeah.
You say the word. If the words that you use, those are the words that you must have meant, because those are the words that you use, and
right.
And so when...
And that's one of the reasons why sarcasm is so difficult for me and for others like me to grasp.
Right. And also why it's difficult for you to put in words what you're trying to explain that you've been noticing.
Yeah.
And my guess would be that because I'm trying to really do something for the first time that you've never experienced this, is to put myself first. And
which is not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. But it's something that I have not I've not done well. And it's not that I have not done it well, but for a big chunk of your life, I didn't even think about it because, I was in charge of so many other humans.
Right.
And so what you're probably feeling is me really trying to limit what I'm doing outside of what I need to do for me, which is, these are some of the things I need to do for me. I need to write material. I need to do the business side of stand-up comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I need to walk Lucy twice a day. Because she's this beast that needs to get out twice a day.
Constantly growing.
And that's my away time as well.
Yeah.
Working out is something that's a priority for me. And so, when it used to be that if you had medication, maybe I would take over on those things, or I would just take the lead on it, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I'm just not, I guess the difference is that you might be seeing is that I'm not, when things are coming up every day, I'm not disappearing at all, but I'm also not saying, I'll take care of that.
Right. You're not shirking responsibility.
Mm-mm.
Because with me, you're not trying to give me more than I can handle.
Absolutely.
You're pushing it at times,
Mm-hmm.
but that's to help me grow.
Mm-hmm.
I think is how it's worded, but
right.
It's to help me gain more experience and knowledge in how to do stuff.
Yeah, and confidence, because the more you do things, I can see it in you. Once you accomplish something, you feel really good about yourself.
Yeah.
And then you have confidence to do it again. And I'm not saying all things. Like you clean the bathroom. Yeah, that's, something that you've accomplished because, in the past that
wouldn't happen.
So
right.
Yes, is it something that you were like, yay, I can do this now? No, I don't even want to clean a bathroom,
Yeah.
But what is happening that you're probably, that nuance that I'm talking about, where you're seeing that something is different,
mm-hmm.
is me trying to manage my energy in a different way.
Mm.
And so for the first time ever, really putting my
focus,
my focus and my energy and into that thing that makes me so happy, which is stand up.
Yeah.
And we live here, and there's so many opportunities for me now, and so I'm really excited about it. And I'm also so excited that I get to share you with people, and I get to talk about autism, and it's fun, and it's light, and then it's not. But then it is again.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
People are just coming right along with me, and I can't describe to you how happy that makes me.
Yeah.
It kind of fills me up. Nana always said that, you didn't have Josh and go through all this to do nothing with it. She always thought that I should go write a book, or I should be a speaker, or share it however I am.
Yeah.
And so when I say that I'm sharing in stand-up comedy, that's the venues that those are the venues that I've been presenting this, but as well as some speaking, but really my heart is in stand-up.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy now that that part of my show is being received the way it is. And I'm so excited about it, and it makes me so happy, and that that contributes to me really doing things for me these days. And so I imagine that that's what you're talking about, where I'm just like in here, my head down, typing away and everything. If you need something, take care of that yourself.
No.
Instead of,
Yeah, if I need guidance
mm-hmm.
on how to do something,
mm-hmm.
absolutely, you're there to help.
Right. But I think that we're just at a point in time when we just need to get you as far along as you can be.
Right.
And in the best position that you can be in. Do you hear what?
I hear Lucy crying across the house. It's a high-pitched whine every few seconds.
Mm-hmm. She's probably
at one of the doors,
yeah.
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's just...
Do you want me to see if she wants to come in?
No, because she's clear across the house.
You know that?
Yeah, she's
okay.
either at the front door or the back one.
Okay. Well, there's people out there. So if she's at one of the doors, they can help her out.
Yeah.
But I know it's bothersome to you.
Yeah, because it's just right there on the edge of my hearing. It's like,
Right.
because it's also that high-pitched, oh my gosh.
So I don't know if I told everybody or not, that I got 3 ruptured discs in my neck. And then it really messed with my arm, and then I never had sciatica in my life, but that happened, and so I'm going to physical therapy. And so I'm doing the thing, do all the exercises and stuff, and then there comes a point where, they call it physical therapy. They call it what is it?
Physiotherapy?
No, it's a torture. It's not physical therapy. It's physical torture, or what, I can't remember what they were calling it. It was funny though. But anyway, so they're pushing on these points on me that really hurt.
Uh-huh.
And as I'm laying there, then there's a sound. I don't know what it is, but it sounds like Darth Vader, and I don't know. Is it a machine around, or is it the the person doing the therapy? Right. Is it their breathing? I don't know. I really don't know. But I thought about you when I was hearing that, because I'm trying to, because she's asking me questions about where she's trying to loosen up the really, really tight knotted muscles.
Yeah.
And while she's talking to me, trying to get this figured out, I'm just thinking, where is Darth Vader? What is that? Where is that?
Gosh. Yeah.
So I know what you're talking about, because that's been what I've been experienced too. Not to your level, of course, because seriously, if she's across the room out of the house and you're hearing her, those are like bionic ears.
Well, so when I would sleep in here, that's the kind of stuff I'd have to deal with. If anyone else was up.
Yeah.
I would hear different things like that.
Oh, that's a perfect example of what I'm talking about, how I didn't help you do it. You were needing like a sofa bed type of a thing. Something for out there for you to be able to lay on and be comfortable. And yet it could get put back so it didn't take up all the space.
Right.
But you could pull it out.
Yeah.
And I described these things for you, and I said, well, there's a futon, or there's a sleeper bed, sofa, or a sleeper love seat. Those are smaller than smaller than a sofa. Sometimes a sleeper oversized chair. I've seen those get pulled out into like a single bed.
Right.
And you asked me about it, and I said, no, you find it. You find it, and I said to go on, Amazon.
Yeah.
And find what you want, and then I said, when you find what you want, let me know what it is. And I mean, that's one of the situations in the past. I would have sat there with you looking and trying to help you find something, and saying, oh, look at this or look at that. And those are the kind of things that I've really stepped back from, that you take the initiative, something that works for you. And, so that is the type of thing. But you're right, those types of things, and that's a good example, I think, those types of things, I really have been backing off from. Now, when it comes time that you need something, like you need it to be ordered, then I order it.
Yeah.
And then you weren't even here, and these 3 big boxes were sitting outside the door when I got home. One is like 87 pounds. And
that was the middleweight one.
Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this? So propped the door open and like walked it. It was in this big cardboard box. It was way taller than me. And I walked it kind of on the side, and then I pushed it, and then I ran over and got the other side, and then just pushed it through the house. Thankfully, we have hardwood floors, so it was easy to just slide across the floors. But
oh my gosh!
Yeah, I know. I was like,
I'm imagining like old Looney Tunes where they're heave ho, and someone is running around trying to catch it, and then it falls completely different side or whatever.
Yes. Yeah, well...
Or they're trying to get out of the shadow.
Yeah,
and they get out of it, and then all of a sudden it lands on them.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty much like that. But
You didn't
I
get
made
squashed.
it.
I mean, you're short enough, but I'm...
Yeah, I am short enough, but I didn't. So that was good. Yeah. So that kind of thing. So I do get what you're sensing, even though you might not have the words to necessarily put it into a certain category.
Right.
But yeah, there definitely have been some changes.
Yeah.
And are you okay with it?
The bed?
No, not the bed. The way that I make you do things for yourself now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's times that I'm not, but it's just because I've gotten so used to you helping me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And not for any other real reason, I don't think.
Mm-hmm. Right. So we're just kind of breaking a pattern.
Yeah. Which is difficult in and of itself.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So I thought I was being subtle, but I guess it's because we just know each other so well, and we've got in this rhythm for so many years that you're bound to notice when there's a bit of a change. So yeah.
You're asking me if I ever notice if there's a change.
No, I'm saying that you would naturally notice it because what we do has been so intrinsic to one another.
Right.
That you would most definitely notice it. But, so, about the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
It's really working.
Good.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm starting to check out a little
Okay,
bit.
all right, we can be done.
Okay.
We can be done. That's... Anything else before you're wiped out completely? Or is it too late?
Yeah.
Okay, he's out.
Sorry.
That's okay. Everybody, thank you for hanging out with us. You can find the podcast all over the place. I know it's on iTunes, it's on YouTube. There are some things that just changed. So if where you typically go, it's not there. Please check back on the website, and it should give you some guidance as to where you can get it.
How would they
know? If not, send me an email through sonyaking.com. There's a place where you can just send me a message. It's sonyaking.com, and we can get you to where you can hear it. You can hear it right off of the website as well. Other than last week, we found out. Now, if you've tried to go listen to them on the website before and it hasn't worked, we didn't know that there was an issue. But there was definitely an issue. Mm-hmm. You couldn't even get to maneuver around the website. They changed some things up, and so that's why we missed it last week, because we couldn't do anything. It needed to be maintenance, and not really even maintenance. It needed to be fixed.
Right.
So it was. So you should be able to find us there. But there have been some changes, not on our part initiating this, but there have been some companies that we used to post to them, and now they no longer do that. And so that might be the one that people have been trying to hear,
right,
or listen to us on, and now it's not an option. But hopefully everything is ironed out now, and we're good to go. But thank you so much for hanging out with us, and I hope that you're happy and healthy, and all good things are coming to you.
Yeah.
And we will hang out with you next week. Love you.
Bye.